what would the secularism for Iran do, since Pahlavi secularism paved the way for Khomeini? Okay, so Pahlavi, the part of the Pahlavi that is paved the way for Khomeini is their lack of secularism. Okay, so you could actually argue that the positions Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah, Reza Pahlavi and Mohammad Reza Pahlavi took against and in support of the mullahs kind of paved the way for, was partly, like, I don't want to make it like this is a single factor, it's multifactorial, right? The many factors that led to the Islamic Revolution of 1979. One of them was the policies that the Pahlavi dynasty had with regards to the mullah, right? So the Reza Shah made many positions for forced secularism. Technically, forced secularism is not secularism at all, because secularism requires the government to stay out of religion. So you really can't have forced secularism. I mean, Reza Shah went out of its way to even like ban hijab. Okay, it's very interesting because Iran has been at a point in history the only country in the world that has banned hijab in public, while also being at some points in history the only country in the world to have hijab mandatory in public, right? Both of them within one generation, which is insane, right? We got another super chat. I'll get to that. So that's, you could see the mullahs, Shia mullahs, historically have been very pro-monarchy, okay? Through the Safavid, through the Qajars, like maybe they were against individual shahs at some point, but in general they were supportive of monarchies, right? So this is a new phenomenon where you see mullahs, Shia mullahs, being anti-monarchs, fundamentally anti-monarchs, right? And partly what started that was this position by certain positions by Reza Shah, but also pro-liberation of women by Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah was one of the main fundamental things that mobilized Khomeini to become the main opposition force against the Pahlavi dynasty, right? Mohammad Reza Shah wasn't as aggressively anti-mullah as his father Reza Shah was. And in fact, he kind of saw them as a weapon against the real enemy, which were the communists, right? So there are three forces in Iran. We had the White Revolution, we had the Black Revolution, and we had the Red Revolution, right? The White Revolution was the Shah, the monarchy, Mohammad Reza Shah. The Red Revolution were the communists, and the Black Revolution was the Islamic, the mullahs, right? And the Shah saw the communists as the major threat, and he kind of wanted to, he saw, especially knowing history, knowing how the mullahs were a force to legitimize the monarchy, he didn't want to take as aggressive of a stand against the mullahs until they mobilized against him, and it was too late. But he opened their hands and he gave them a lot of free, a lot of privileges and advantages. And the combination of Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza policies together had some contribution to why the Islamic Republic, the revolution happened, right? Again, I'm not saying that's the only factor, but it is a contributing factor. But neither what Reza Shah did and Mohammad Reza Shah did could be seen, the effects of it on the power of the mullahs could be seen as secularism, because they either against the mullahs or with the mullahs, they were involved in religious affairs. So that's not secularism.
Hey guys, if you want to join these streams live, get your comments and questions read by Ali and Armin and the guests, and most importantly, to get full access to the full video versions of all these episodes, become a patron. Link in the description below.